Chazz Palminteri on the state of Hollywood. We recently played a video, Mel Gibson talking about the state of Hollywood. Chazz was on the podcast. I believe it was the Rubin Report, Dave Rubin, and he had a couple things to say here. Let's see what that is. Right, I've got it queued up right here.
A lot of people would like to have.
What do you make of the general state of movie making in 2025? Because I have to tell you, it is very hard for me to find a new movie that I walk out and I'm just knocked out by. It does happen every now and again, but something, back in the day, it was just like every week there were 5 new movies and 4 of them were great, and it just doesn't seem like it's that way anymore.
No, because back then they made movies where the artist made the movie. Now you have to be so careful of what you say in a movie. If it doesn't fit a certain criteria, they won't show it. I hope it gets away from that, I really do. I hope it does, because Godfather couldn't be made today.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Cowboy couldn't be made today. A lot of great movies couldn't be made today. So that's what's sad. I'm hoping that one day it changes back,
Do you think it will? Do you think that's that the people got more politically correct or afraid of art, or is it that the studios were doing it first?
I think it was both, I think both of them did. Now you have to have, don't get me wrong, I think there's a renaissance. Is that the word? I don't know if I'm saying the right word, but where they're using a lot of African American and Latinos and Asians in movies, and they're pushing that, and that's good. I find that to be good. I think it's good, but you still got to be allowed to make another movie where, like, if you don't have enough of one ethnic group in the movie, they kind of like shy away from it, and you can't dictate art like that.
Yeah, I get his point here. What do you guys think?
Gene Simmons looking rough.
Oh my!
Yeah, he's looking a little rough. But
Poor
what do
guy.
you guys think?
But yeah, he said African American. It sounded like back in the day when they said colored, they say black people.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about all the stuff in Godfather that, like, there are lines that they would never have allowed, like today. Like, and there's ones that are recent where I'm like, wow, like they were, but it's because people felt free to express themselves. And the problem is people, even creators now, are self-censoring before it even gets to be considered to be made. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
That's not art.
Yeah, they are self-censoring, writers as well, and then they get even more censored by when it goes into production. Art is just stifled, so that way you don't easily offend anybody. And how are you supposed to? It's supposed to be expressive and make people feel a certain way. How are you supposed to do that when it's stifled?
Yeah, like, oh no, that line made you feel uncomfortable. Good, it's supposed to. It's supposed to make you feel that way, so you remember it. So you don't repeat that action. We're covering those things up. I mean, what does that do then? To me, it's kind of like, how do I explain it? Like going to McDonald's and expecting a steak. It's just not going to happen.
Well, it's kind of the softening of everything. Like the character of Han Solo in the special edition, which no one forced George Lucas to make the special edition. He chose to do that. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind the changes of matte lines or improving things that, that don't change the movie. But he changed Star Wars by softening the character of Han Solo. He did that. It makes his redemption at the end not as, it's not as shocking. Badger, you were about to say something. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? Okay.
You talk about Greedo shot first type shit?
All that stuff. All that and his at the end, like they softened his character.
And not just that, he makes these new special editions and then completely forbids any other version of them from being distributed ever again.
Correct,
like
because those are not his vision. He wants his vision.
It's like we liked those other ones. Why can't we have both? What that doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm still
the
angry.
art should be preserved as it was originally seen. At least, like you can. Yeah. This is why I say, like, if you want to create a new version or something, that's fine. But you also need to preserve cinema history in that, and also speaking to. I don't think anyone really likes creativity by committee. I think they can sense it when art it feels like it's manufactured instead of coming about in an organic way.
Yeah. I've got a lot of other news stories. One more before we get, including stuff on Starfighter. Very excited about this. But why so much of entertainment feels mediocre? Joseph Kahn on X started a thread that a lot of people are commenting on. I retweeted it. Badger, if you would read this, it's a little long, but worth hearing. Joseph Kahn, who was recently on the show, he talked about his movie Ick, which is also nominated at Award This. Here's what he had to say, because he's speaking out. So I don't know if you know Joseph Kahn, a director. He made this movie Ick, a very good horror comedy that came out last summer. We interviewed him about it. He's a guy who directed music videos in the late 90s, early 2000s with Taylor Swift. He's a director with cred, but if you would, Badger, let's discuss what he has to say.
Here's why so much of today's entertainment feels mediocre. For most of Hollywood's golden age, the major studios owned the theaters. That system ended in 1948 with the Supreme Court's decision in United States versus Paramount Pictures. The Paramount decrees forced the Big Five studios to divest their theater chains and banned practices like block booking. The result? Studios no longer had a guaranteed screen for every film they made. If a movie was bad, theater owners simply wouldn't book it. Survival required quality. Studios had to compete on merit. The same logic held through the home video and television eras. Studios made the discs, but they didn't own Target, Best Buy, or Blockbuster. Networks made shows, but every program lived or died by Nielsen ratings and advertiser dollars. There was friction, transparency, and real risk. Then streaming arrived. In 2020, a federal judge officially terminated the Paramount decrees, declaring them obsolete in a world dominated by Netflix, Disney Plus, which you should cancel, and Amazon Prime, and the rest. The irony is brutal. Streaming has recreated vertical integration on steroids. The same companies now control production and the only theaters that matter, their own apps. Unlike the old studio-owned cinema chains, these platforms don't have to disclose viewership numbers because the business model is subscription-based, not per ticket or ad-supported. Metrics are secret. Accountability is gone. Because every subscriber dollar flows in the same corporate pool, regardless of what is watched, the streamers have zero financial incentive to pay market rates or any real money at all for outside independent films and series. Why license an indie movie for 10 to 20 million when you can spend that and more on an in-house project that keeps 100% of the upside, strengthens your IP library, and is guaranteed on top of app promotion? Independents are now forced to sell their work for flat, often insultingly low fees, or give it away entirely for exposure, because the platform already has a full slate of self-produced content it will always prioritize. The gate is not just closed, the gatekeeper owns the only road. With no obligation to report performance, studios face zero external pressure to justify budgets. They can greenlight endless in-house projects that are guaranteed distribution while acquiring outside films or series for pennies on the dollar, if they bother at all. Independent producers are left begging for scraps or shut out entirely. This is monopoly power the 1948 court never imagined. Total control of both creation and exhibition, insulated from market feedback. When studios and theaters were forcibly separated, independent cinema flourished because talent and good ideas could still find an audience. Today, a handful of tech entertainment giants own the entire pipeline in a way that even the old Mongols couldn't dream of. Moguls, rather, couldn't dream of. Mongols couldn't dream of it either. Monopolies aren't capitalist. We prevent them to open real competition, innovation, quality, and the occasional movie that wasn't filtered through a Tesla bot in Netflix HR wearing an Apple Vision Pro.
What do you guys think? He lays it out there. Streaming is killing quality. I mean, there's a reason people say that's a streaming movie.
I didn't know about the monopolies.
No, I think he's 100% correct. Like, streaming movies are made with the fact that it's a second screen viewing. You're going to be on your phone. You're going to be doing something else. So it's going to kill the quality of your movies. And that is also hitting cinemas as well. When you're making movies for the theater, that's what it is. They're making movies for second screen viewing because they know that people are going to be doing something else. So it's
just content.
It's poor quality movie. Yeah.
We've been talking about this actually for a while on my channel, that it's the process of killing the theaters. They have to share money with ticket money with theaters. They don't want to do that anymore. They want this. That's what they've been driving at this whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I think it's only going to get worse, especially if Warner's gets absorbed.
That's
somehow.
why no one wants Netflix.
Yeah,
the many reasons.
Yeah,
that'll be. And look, Warner's they've had a banner year this year. Sinners, I mean, Weapon.
7 films over 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
They've done very well, and that kind of competition creates it makes everybody better. You rise to the top. And also, by the way, I happen to know the Duplass brothers had an output deal with Netflix where they would sell their movies. They would make movies for a certain amount of money. I don't want to say how much, under a certain amount. It wasn't even $1 million. And then they would sell it to Netflix. They don't buy that stuff anymore. They rarely buy an outside documentary or small indie movie. They just don't do it. But there was, even Netflix really supported smaller movies. They don't do that.
There's a reason the Duffer Brothers bounced over to Paramount to get guaranteed theatrical releases. There's a reason James Mangold went to Paramount to get guaranteed theatrical releases and, a certain gun not stepping all over his dick when he's trying to write his Swamp Thing movie.
Well, more filmmakers need to, they really need to step up. There's, of course, we have the Odyssey coming out from Chris Nolan, which my understanding is we will see a trailer. Is it with Avatar or I'm not sure, but we will see is it Avatar, I believe.
And also a 6-minute trailer that's supposed to be coming out with the re-release of One Battle After Another, which I don't know why they're doing that.
I don't know why they're doing it. But I'll just say this. The Odyssey is a movie that is not released yet and has already made $100 million in advance sales on opening day for IMAX.
Really?
That's before the pictures were coming out.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
How dare
you? Because they released tickets early, like a year in advance.
1 year in advance.
And then everyone tickets.
I'm sorry.
100% sold out, by the way.
But the more pictures I see, I just see Tom Holland. I just see Peter Parker in his cosplaying suit. I just see stars in there, and it just, I don't know. But I'm optimistic, and I hope it does well. But
based on what you just said,
well, that's what I'm saying. You should have just not released those pictures. Let us keep up that mystery, and you had that. That one picture of the poster I thought was amazing, but it just seems so bland. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, it does seem kind of bland, but I do trust Nolan. I mean, Oppenheimer looked great.
His practical effects, that it's a real cave that they shot in, it's an animatronic Cyclops, Matt Damon saying that you saw it. If it was in the script, it's there in real life. There's fucking sirens.
big
Yeah,
fan.
he's like the last
Crack.
one I actually trust. One of the last filmmakers,
Yeah.
you know,
And
that
it's
I
a big
still
ensemble
trusted to
piece.
deliver it.
It's a
You
big
know?
ensemble piece.
I think
sorry.
Well, I was just going to say
Go
something real fast. Like, it is on the artists, it is on the directors to kind of like demand theatrical releases. You know, like, yeah, it's real easy to take that Netflix check. You know, like apparently the what's the name, Zack Snyder. You know, he went out there over there and just started churning out nonsense, and you know, the same thing with what's the name of the guy, Ryan Reynolds. Like, everybody's gonna go take that check, but it's on the artist. If the artists want their art to continue to exist, then you better be out there battling for it. You better stop taking the check, you know, because it's real easy just to go ahead and make, you know, stuff for Netflix. Like, what was the movie that the gosh, man, the Marvel Cinematic Universe brothers, the
Electric, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
that
that's
lost all
crap,
that money.
Electric
Yes.
State shit. I mean, like,
the
Russo?
Russo's, the Electric State.
yeah, like if you're gonna just say, "Hey, give me $300 million, I can make whatever crap I want to make." Russo brothers, thanks, chat. When you see that happening, and that's what's gonna kill entertainment, you know, because they're just gonna get money. They're gonna cast stars. They're gonna churn out a 2-hour movie. It's all gonna be shit. You know, they're probably going to let AI start writing their scripts, and then they're just going to get paid to just give us bullshit. And if you're going to keep watching that, number one, as the audience, but then number two, if these big time filmmakers if this is what they want to do, it's over. It's absolutely over. Nobody's going to stick around for this crap. You know, that's the way I see it, man. It was one of the worst movies I've ever watched, man. It was ridiculous.
But we're
Adam
seeing more and
Sandler
more.
has been taking advantage of that with
What, Elaine?
Netflix.
We're seeing more and more, though, artists like directors, even if they're negotiated with Netflix, are trying to get a theatrical release deal. They're trying, and Apple is doing that. I mean, they're more willing. They're more willing to do that with Netflix. It seemed like the directors, the director for Barbie, her name is escaping me.
Greta
Gerwig.
She came out to make sure her Narnia film, like, she was one of the first ones to do that. And then we have Guillermo del Toro trying to make sure his Frankenstein film was.
But
so maybe they're trying, but it's they.
How long is the Chronicle? This is the James Cameron point when he was like, Netflix would be horrible, Paramount should buy it, because they may give them lip service and say, yeah, we'll release your movies in theaters, and it's like 10 days and 1,000 theaters instead of 90 days or 45 days and 3,000 or 4,000 theaters.
That's why I don't trust them.
I don't trust them either, right?